Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Solid Sonic, aka DNSBEATS. Uh, in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about how you can choose the best sounds for your music production, for your music making, for your music composition. Even if you don't feel too inspired, this process can really help you to get started. Because I know a lot of producers experience beat block, they experience kind of like tiredness of trying to figure out what sound fits to make basically what they hear in their head. But sometimes like no sound fits. But I'll explain that later. Um, so in order to pick a good sound for your song, the first thing you have to think of is the theme. And when I say sound, this sound could be anything. As you could start with a melody in your head. It could be whatever. You could start bopping on the table, whatever. But the theme basically is like what it should look like visually. Like if you can imagine the kind of music you want to make in like a TikTok video. That's basically what your theme is. And yeah, some people choose to make happy beats, some people choose to make dark beats, some people choose to make more energetic dance, stuff that makes you want to move. And all these are, it's not so complicated as you can actually start it from something as simple as a sound. So, like I was saying, you have to be able to pick what emotion you want to convey with your sound, basically. So, after doing this, uh, the first thing I'd say you should think about is a melody. And before you pick a melody, you want to start thinking about the style of music you're making. Because when it comes to the melody, you start having to think of instruments and what sound the instrument makes, and then you start having to like go through different sounds trying to find the right one. Sometimes you have to understand the melody is something that sticks, so it kind of has to have its own energy in such a way that once you play just the melody, you can feel it like the song is going somewhere already. So yeah, basically. So if you can't like make a melody that um, feels like you're doing or you're going in the right direction, basically just delete the whole thing because you might just not have started right. So like you might have to do a bunch of stuff. There's music theory for this, as you can learn music theory if you wish, but you don't need to. Um, the next thing I'll say is when it comes to the sound, you have to think about how much weight the sound carries in the mix. Because when it comes to making the beat, yes, sure enough, you're making the beat. You can make it sound good to the rhythm, to the melody, but sometimes you have to pick the the right sound. For example, when it comes to drums, you might have to pick the right snare, you might have to pick the right kick in order to represent that sound in the best way. Because sometimes people pick a kick that sounds so dope when they're making the beat and stuff, but when they start mixing, everything gets muddied up and it just gets messed up. This might sound kind of weird, although I do choose my sounds before I make the beat. Well, not completely all the time, but when it comes to making the actual beat, it's much harder to be able to pick just one sound. Sometimes you could actually group these sounds together and layer them in order to kind of increase the sound or the tone, because kind of how you have left and right channel, you put them together, it's louder. So just how you can have more than one sound, you could put them together. I mean, sure enough, on your decibel meter, it could read, but basically, you should use your ears when it comes to sound selection and when it comes to the actual putting together of these sounds. Um, Another thing you have to think of when it comes to picking your sounds is you have to listen to the beat. And when it comes to like what's missing, sometimes it just feels like something is missing. But you got to understand that once music is playing, yes, there's the note, but you also have to understand that the note has timing. So you have to think about spaces in between your melodies. You have to think about beat timing. Sometimes you have to skip a beat in your melody or in your drums just to add something that actually makes the beat like interesting. But it's just kind of like a false beat. But that's just for example though. When it comes to actually trying to figure out what goes into the space, is that you have to start thinking of stuff like percussion. It might not even be too much. Sometimes it's just something that's so small as it wasn't like a regular sound, or it was just something out of the blue and it could fit. So it might sound weird to you, but just turn it down. I promise you, this will save you so much time of thinking about how much space is in your beat or what's missing. And once you do that, you might even be able to come up with more stuff in between. And this is why I just advise people to just start fixing your problem before you start thinking, is this right? Because sometimes it's the first draft, but you're making this, so you still have to think about what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish. So basically after that, you have to think about your effects and stuff, like ear candy that you're willing to add into your beats and your production, kind of like with panning and other stuff. But you don't have to do too much of this. A lot of people just use it for drops or transitions. A lot of people even add stuff like textures. Like, as I'm outside right now, how you can hear like outside sounds, the road, the birds, stuff like that. People record this and put this in the background of their music. People make their own sounds. So like, you can really get creative when it comes to effects. An effect is just, it's not that it's something that's specific or it has to sound a certain way. It's just for you to actually cause an effect in your music, for you to be able to say, oh, this is about to happen, or this is about to happen. It kind of makes your music almost visual, as like it's easy to follow, it's easy to listen to. But on that note, I'll just kind of, cause there's a lot more stuff about choosing good sounds for your music. As well, here's some extra tips. Is that a lot of people, when they buy a sound pack or a drum pack, is that they're always trying to mix their drum packs with other drum packs. One thing that I've really learned in my music production is like really sticking to the sounds in a sound pack. Because sometimes you never know that, okay, yes, it's this kind of beat that's in my head, but you might have to change how the beat actually sounds, like the energy, the tone of the beat, and that that could really that could really that could really shift your whole idea. But based on that and all of that, I'm just gonna end this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope afterwards you guys can pick some better sounds and make way better music, man. But, yeah, it's been your boy Stalis Sonic, aka DNSBEATS.